What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about 30 different altcoins today. You guys know the drill. You leave requests in the YouTube comment section. You leave them in the Discord. I tend to those, and I most of the time get to them within a 24-hour period, and we get a big old smorgasbord of requests in one form of like a 30 altcoin request video, sometimes in the 20s. I don't think I've ever had anything greater than like 31 or 30. I forget what the max has been, but I implemented the rule where it's only 2 requests per person per day. Once we were getting into the 30s, that's when I did it, and here we are still in the 30s. So you guys, these requests, even at 2 requests per person per day, it is going to have to get mitigated again at some point. So get it while it's hot, man. I'm at 4,700 subscribers. The channel will grow. It's just inevitable, right? It's going to grow. Crypto's hot, right? And it's just inevitable that the channel will grow in itself, hopefully, right? And with that, I won't be able to keep up with 2 requests per person per day. So while it's still on the table, do that. Eventually, it will be whittled down to 1 request per person per day, and then even past that, imagine if 2 requests per person per day is borderline right now. Imagine what happens when I have 9,000 subscribers, right? It's one request per person per day is going to be borderline, so then I'll have to figure out another way to kind of like mitigate the requests. I want to keep it open for as long as I possibly can, man. I really do want to keep it open as long as I can. I will always do requests, absolutely always, but right now I feel like I can tend to basically almost all of them. I mean, essentially I do tend to all of them, except for the fact that I do 2 requests per person per day. I'm sure there's some of you who have more than that, but that's just what the limit is right now, because that's to keep me sane. But my thoughts whenever I do, I'm going to get to the TA in a second, I promise you guys, all right? And we're going to go over the list here. But I don't think I went over the list yet. I'm on a roll, man, so we're just going to keep going with it. Anyways, the thing is, whenever I do get to the point where like 1 request per person per day is too much for me to handle, I will probably limit it to where if we've talked about a crypto already in the past like day or 2, like instead of doing, because a lot of these coins on here I've talked about yesterday, right? I mean, maybe not a lot of them, but like at least 10 of them, like I've talked about yesterday. So not a whole lot's probably changed in a 24-hour period. I might even mitigate it to where it's like if it's been requested within 2 days, we won't do it, something like that. But I want to try and keep these requests going for as long as possible, and as the channel grows, I will probably be able to put more time in this and step away from other things. So that will help. I might even be able to take in more requests, but I won't be able to get to everybody's requests. I'm spending so much time in this initial part of the video because I want to get that across, just to prepare you guys, because it is inevitable. It's absolutely inevitable. The channel will grow. I'm one person. It's just inevitable. Anyways, let's get started. Here's the list. We're going to talk about Super Trump for Full Send, Filecoin for Live and Let Die, WTK and XDC for the Unleavened Baptist, VTC for MHAT, KDA and Gone for Anon Girder, Colana and Targaryen for Celos, AXS and ILV for Crypto Investor, Corgi AI for Flower Child, WEN for Chad Shi, GQ for Ashugarg, One and Vet for Fredium, CHMB for Cryptothon, Anchor for Mob, ANKR for Mob CCR, Spell for Jordan Tyler, Jupiter for Sakitati, I don't know how to pronounce that one, ARKU, and Near Protocol for Bruce Wayne, Batman himself is in the house, Kava for TS Tilly, AERO and PNG for Joshua Sanker, Mobile and Pixel for C-Zar is Good Guy, and we're finishing it up with Trump, Inu, and Mint Layer for El Chavo. With that, guys, let's get into this. All right, no more dilly-dallying. Hopefully the intro didn't scare you away, but let's see here, top to bottom. Hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, guys. I really do appreciate all of you who do that. I appreciate all of you who just view the channel in itself too. It's really a big help. Thank you all for being here. Top to bottom, moved up to the 2, pulling back to the 1272. Is this right? Is this all up to date? Yeah. Okay. Cool. It's a very new coin. TA is going to be, I like to say, flexible, right? The rules are going to be a little bit more flexible in situations like this. So you could close below the 1272, and that wouldn't necessarily mean you go to your 886, or maybe you are going all the way to your 886 as would be expected. Coming into line with that 886 is this kind of area of resistance. It really wouldn't be crazy to touch that, but to be fair, also you found support here, not at previous areas of resistance, but well above. Could this be it? I don't know, man. I don't know. Looking at this here from low, relative low to high, you are below your 382. This in itself would make me think that you'd go to your 618, but you could hold the 0.5. I would say anywhere from 0086 to 00628. Somewhere in that range is where you're going. So you're at about 1 cent right now. So I do think you're going lower, but again, TA is not going to be as rigid, as respected on something like this. And I mean, maybe it is, but I wouldn't hold my breath over that, right? It can do crazy things. It's a very new coin, probably not as much liquidity as a lot of coins, so you can see, and who knows, right? It's so new, you don't know if it's a scam. You don't know if it's got like rug pull potential. Maybe it's a legit coin, but there's a flaw in the protocol and it just dumps one day like dramatically. You never know. And that can happen with coins that have a lot more history than just this. But all I'm trying to say, the reason I'm saying that is, don't hold me to it. Just because I'm saying it could go down here based off of what I would expect on a normal chart, which this is not your normal chart, right? It's a very new chart. Instead of that, tomorrow it could do this. It could do this. Like, it's everything and anything and everything is on the table for this thing. But if it is to respect some form of technical analysis, I would assume you probably do go to this area. It was like what, 00628 to 008 something, right? Let's do it again. 00628 to 0086. That's what it is. All right, so that's Super Trump file coin. Let's see. A lot of volume coming out of this. It's really nice to see. It almost looks like it's still in its accumulation phase, and it very well could be, or perhaps it broke. It was in like a downward kind of accumulation phase like this. It broke out of it back here with decent volume, right? And you checked back, and now you're making your next move up. So you might have already broken out of this. Either way, you are at a point where you found resistance before, opening price, right? At least on this chart. So it wouldn't be crazy to turn around or find turbulence here, right? And I mean, it's been already a couple weeks that you've been in this area, so maybe that's the turbulence you see. I forget. Let's see, who is it? Live and Let Die. You were saying it's having a hard time getting above $10, I think. Yeah, it's $10 is a psychological level. You have a lot of different things besides that going on as well. Again, the resistance points. You've got your 123 moving average on the weekly here. Moved up a lot in a short amount of time. There's all these factors that kind of comply with the idea that, yeah, you're probably a little bit exhausted. You're overbought on the weekly. I'm looking for something here. Let's see. 1618 hit. Yeah, you could. I do think you're going to move up higher. You're so close to this 382 on a macro scale. I do think this will be respected. So inevitably, you will soon probably go to prices above 1378. Likely on the first pass, you actually break above the 382. You don't tip it for resistance, but you could. This is kind of a common thing to expect when it comes to the 382, right? Is to find resistance there. You go a little bit above it, find resistance here, and then go back to your 236, and then up from there. So don't be scared if you do end up doing something like that. But with everything being so bullish, you could consolidate in this area up here and then just continue to move up. That's also kind of common. You don't need to move down here, but it's a very classic maneuver to see. So don't be scared if that happens. But for now, yes, probably a little bit of sideways action, and until you're ready to move up to about $14, I would say. And I would think that you move up to $14 because that would be just probably even a little bit above $14. Honestly, maybe up to $15. You're at 1050 now. Yes, you have lower lows in your RSI coming through. What is that there? Let's see. Come on. Why are you doing this to me? What is going on? You're at your 60 right now, man. Yeah, this is bounce area. You're getting set up for a bounce here, I think. I think you're going to move up soon, like by the end of this week, if not sometime early next week. Like, I think you're like, just the way it looks, man, you might be bouncing today. I think you're moving up right now. Lower lows in your RSI, higher lows in the price. It looks good. Volume looks fine. I think you're going to move up higher. Yeah, you've been moving sideways for like the past week, but you're going to get over that. I promise you. Or I can't promise you, but I would think so. Just based off of what I'm seeing in the charts, I think that you are looking like you want to go higher. Yeah, the 4 hour looks resilient, kind of with a bearish look, neutral bearish look, but also, I don't know. I kind of like it, man. I don't know. It looks like you're finding support at a previous area of resistance, really. So, yesterday I was talking about how flat tops and flat bases, like if you have a flat base with a descending high structure, that's normally a good sign that you're going down. And And there are exceptions to that. I say normally because it's not always, right? But this might be one of those times where it's not always, because you do have a flat base, but like also technically you have, is it higher lows? I guess you have a higher low here. I don't know. It's all wicks, decent volume here. Something's telling me that even though it's somewhat of a flat base with descending highs, with everything else that's going on and how close you are to the 382, I think you're going to move up higher. But let's move on from that. I'm spending too much time talking about it. I think it's going up. I think very soon it's actually going to go up. So you're in the middle of a move that's going to take you much higher than $10, that's for sure. I think you wanted me to do cycle high too, right? That's the thing with Filecoin, guys. I'm not totally convinced that it's going to see a new high this cycle. It might stop off at $140 or $88, and if not, if it sees a new all-time high, its all-time high potential is it'll probably not go to $41,000 or $4,100, but it could go to like $800 or $1,600, whatever that price is there. I think that's $1,600, yeah, $800 to $1,600, something like that. That's definitely possible. But for right now, let's see how it does with this 40. We're not even thinking about that until we break this $40 to $57 range, okay? But that's Filecoin. WTK, yes, it's on this one, okay. WTK on the weekly, doing what it's been doing, man. It's in an upward channel, right? What I did identify incorrectly as a ascending triangle, right? You have this flat top with ascending lows. I thought it was an ascending triangle until we had this low, and then it's like, okay, maybe what we're in instead is some form of a channel, and I think we are in a channel. It could be a tightening wedge, you know, something like that. But let's see. This just looks really clean, man. I don't know. That right there, you know, you get a little bounce off of this, bounce off the middle line there, rejection off the middle line here. A little disrespect here, whatever, but you're holding resistance here on this one, like held resistance here, broke above it, went to your middle line. I don't know. And maybe it's not drawn completely perfectly. Maybe it's more like this. I don't know, but you're in some kind of channel upwards, and you're at the lower ends of it. I would think the next, like you're in the middle of a move that is going to take you above this high. So where would you go? Top to bottom here, you would probably go to about 6.6 cents, maybe even all the way up to 9 cents is my guess. So you're in the middle of that right now. I think just patience will provide those prices. You know, if you move down from here, it's not going to be too significant, I wouldn't think, unless we see some kind of like market-wide crash that catches everybody off guard. But it really shouldn't catch us off guard, right? We've been going up. You guys, Bitcoin's on its 7th green month in a row. It's never done that before, okay? We're at new all-time highs before the halving. We've never done that before. So while that is a testament of its bullish strength for sure, you never know, man. We could just get a flash crash out of nowhere. I think we're overdue for one, but Bitcoin could go to 100 grand before we're going to see that crash. Who knows, man? And in that time, this thing could definitely go up. So assuming that we don't get some kind of market-wide dump, I think you are good for about 6.6 cents or higher. That's WTK. XDC on KuCoin, yeah, that's what, or maybe, yeah, we'll just use KuCoin. Okay, that's nice. Well, that's really nice. I think my last video I was bearish on it. I think. Getting above your 236, wicked up really high, and I mean that's okay, whatever. I like that. I do like that actually. Let's see. Yeah, I think I would have thought you go to your 618 with how close you got, but you didn't get there. Now you're above your 382 again. You actually closed. You've been above it for 2 days now on a closing basis. That's nice. There's hope, man. There's actually a lot of hope right now. I think this looks good. Weekly RSI looks fine. I mean, whatever. Let's see. Top to bottom. I mean, there genuinely is hope that you're looking to make moves up past 6.8 cents soon. Potentially all the way up to 16 or 12 cents as well. You're like at the beginning phases of this next move up, and I say soon, but it could take months before you even get to 6.8 cents. So you might continue to like slowly work your way up, and then break, and then pull back, and then like however it looks, who knows. But yeah, I think you found your low. I think you want to move up higher. Let's look at the daily. Daily RSI looks strong. You probably do pull back a little bit from here. Yeah, the 4-hour would tell me that you're looking like you want to pull back a little bit more. You probably do. You probably go back to like your 236, anywhere around like 5 cents. I would say around 5 cents, man. Yeah, 5 cents, 4.9 cents, somewhere in that area. That's my thoughts. Anyways, that's XDC. And then higher. VTC. I think you got me on one of these weirdo websites. Right, MHAT, let's see. Nope. Just on CoinGecko. Vertcoin. VTC, can't we pull it up on here? Yeah, it's right here on CoinEx. Oh, I think he did say CoinEx though. I mean, we could try and see. Let's see. That goes all the way back to 2014. Okay, I get it. I get why, because that does not go back to 2014. Nope. Okay, so I should know better than to doubt you. Of course, you know what you're talking about. Let's see here. So market cap versus price. Come on now. Whatever. Pretty diluted. That's okay. Can't really do TA on it from this perspective, but you're at $4 million. Okay, you are at $4 million in market cap value. You've seen as high as about $400 million before. Will you see that again? That's the question. You're kind of in a death spiral here. A lot of coins have broken out of their downtrends and have started uptrends. You've yet to do that. I mean, arguably maybe you have if that's your low, but you've yet to show complete conviction that you are done moving lower. I mean, you are moving sideways to some degree right now, but it is a lower high still. The weekly RSI looks rather productive, but what you have is higher highs with lower highs, and that in itself is not a good look. So I would like to see this week close green. I'm kind of convinced that you will with this kind of base that you have. It looks nice, but and the daily RSI doesn't look bad either, to be completely fair. You actually look like you have a diamond top right now, which diamond tops they're not reversal patterns, they're just kind of neutral patterns, but they're marked for continuation. Diamond tops, you guys, they're known for having a bunch of wicks coming outside of them. So you don't want to draw it like everything filled in the box there. You don't want to draw it like this, right? You want to draw it to where you got the most touch points, something like this on a body basis, on a wick basis, whatever. But the wicks, diamonds are known to have price action wick through the pattern itself. It's one of the few patterns that is disrespected, if that makes any sense. But when it does break, which in my opinion it looks like you're very very near breaking it, probably in the next day or so. If you break to the upside, then you're probably good for a move that would be essentially, it'd be let's see, be this big. Wouldn't take you too far, but that's the measure move. Would take you directly to this point of resistance here, all the way at 7.65 cents. You're at 5.78 cents now. And on the way to doing that, diamond patterns are known to be fast, but they're also known to be volatile. So you could break out, pull back to your breakout point, and then move up. It's a very common thing to do. And absolutely, you can move on past that. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw really a replicate move of this here. Measure move be damned. It'd be something like this probably, which would take you all the way up to around 9 cents, 8.8 cents. But unless you break out to the downside, you can see that essentially by getting any kind of significant move to the downside. All you'd have to do is move down 2% or maybe 5%. Let's see, how much would it be? Yeah, you get a 5% move or more to the downside on a closing basis, you're breaking out to the downside, and that would actually take you back down to these levels. So, and with that kind of look in itself, coming back down here, I would think that you're looking like you want to see at least a double bottom, if not lower lows, because this is not an exciting chart. So having a hard time with it. I don't mind the weekly RSI, even though it does have hidden bearish divergence. I don't really mind it because it overall does look productive. The daily RSI looks decent too. The 4-hour is neutral. It looks kind of sad, but it's neutral. It's not anything detrimental. I mean, to be fair, you have lower lows with higher lows, so that's not a bad thing. I don't know. Wait to see what this pattern does. I have a feeling, going against the grain here, but I have a feeling you're going to break to the upside, but I can be wrong. That's VTC. Spent too much time on that, man. Let's speed this up a little bit. KDA, Cadena Crypto. Let's do it on Binance. All right. Very, very nice maneuver out of its lows here. Very, very bullish. Bottom to top, hit the 382, and now you're going past. Nice. I bet you're seeing these extensions top to bottom. Yeah, you're probably going to go up to 250. You're at $1.95 now. I think you're going to 250. And then maybe you find a relatively, like a momentary topping point. You could pull all the way back down after that to like $1.40, $1.50, from 250 to $1.50 essentially. Maybe you stop at $2, maybe you stop somewhere in between, but at the moment I think you're going up to 250. That's KDA gone. It's on this one here. Gone. Well, it's gone. I have really I don't have anything to say about this one. It's way too new. I can't give TA on this, man. It could drop a whole lot lower. Who's to say it doesn't drop 50% from here? Who's to say it doesn't pump 500% tomorrow? I'm not the person to say that. So, for what it's worth, it looks neutral, and that will change. In less than a day's time, you will see more hours than you have available in this little flat range here. So it's going to move fast. Not enough to go off of. We can check it out on Dex Screener, maybe. Gone. Gone with the wind. Maybe this is what you want. We're going to do this. Okay, hey, there you go. So you've been around for a little while and you just got listed on MEXC. I bet you do see some selling off, right? Here's your pump. Here's your listing pump. You've just gotten listed recently, right? Like, what is it, on a daily basis? Yesterday? Okay, so I mean, you're getting that right now, that dump. So I think you're going to see some follow through with that. From a low to a high, you'll probably go down to 4.0s, 4.6 probably. So hey, there's that potential 50%, or maybe that's like a 40% drop from here. But you could go down lower. You could go to 4.0s, 2.8, that area as well. But I'm looking at that 4.0s, 4.6 area personally. That's my thoughts. I think it wants to go down and then probably up. Colana for Mr. Silos. This is the one. All right. Yep, you're still holding your 100 level. Looks like I have targets for the 1618. I would stand by that top to bottom here, especially holding the 100 level like this. You did reject your 1272, but you're still holding this, and you've been holding this, so you didn't get any follow through. That's a pretty bearish candle, and you didn't get any follow through. You're holding all-time highs, right? Which isn't saying much because this is new, but I think you want to go up to your 618, your 1618, all the way at 8.69 cents. Before you see any kind of like more major consolidation like this. So yeah, daily RSI looks fine. 4 hour looks neutral. It's not bad. It could look better, but hey, I mean, you kind of did the same thing here, right? Pulled down and then boom, off to the races. It's a little bit different looking here, but same idea, I guess. Yeah, I think it wants to go up. I stand by it. 8.69 cents is your next target. And then maybe some more immediate or more prolonged consolidation. That's Colana. We're talking about Targaryen now. The mother of dragons. Targaryen. All right. So this thing is, okay, maybe this right here. You said on Solana. We're going to do it this one. House of Dragons. Hey, man. Hey, I like that name, House of Dragons. There we go. Shout out to the Dragon Riders if y'all are watching this one. You know who you are. Yeah, I don't got really anything to say about this other than I like the name. So I hope this thing does well. It is literally a dragon coin, so I hope it does well, or at least the House of the Dragon coin. Top to bottom here, not a whole lot to go off of. I would kind of think it wants to go lower than this low, but we're going to be bullish on it. We're going to say it goes up higher. I don't know, man. There's not enough historical data to go off of, unfortunately. So let me see if Targaryen. Oops, Targar. How do I spell it? Targaryen. Yeah, it's all one day. So, yep. That's all we got. Anyways, can't really do it on that one, unfortunately. AXS for crypto investor. Yeah, these are gaming coins, right? That's what your two are, gaming. I almost wanted to do a separate video for this, but I think if I'm going to talk about gaming coins, I'd want to throw in more than just two. But if it almost felt wrong to just clump this in with everything else. But here we are, top to bottom at your 1272 1414 area. You very well could pull back to 1050. You're at 1250 now. You absolutely could, and that's okay. That would be a healthy move actually. But you're hovering. I like that look. I wouldn't be surprised if you move up to 1520, move up like $3 higher. You could move higher than that even, man. You could go all the way up to your 2272 even. But yeah, I think you do want to move up. If you move down from here, 1050 at the lowest, 1113, maybe even less than that. I like all of it, man. Yeah, it looks like you want to continue moving up. I would actually be surprised if you moved lower than these lows, honestly, before moving up higher. I think that you will move down. You'll see it somewhat of a correction that takes you out of this overbought zone, but I don't know if it's coming yet. So Axie Infinity is looking good. ILV, Illuvium. I got Mufasa with me, you guys. He's right here. He's camera shy for some reason. For those of you that know or don't know, Mufasa used to hop up on the chair all the time. He never did it before, and he did it for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or so. A lot of you saw him, and now he just comes to the side here. So it looks like I'm doing this, but I'm not doing that. I'm petting the cat, man. 1272, you're above it, hovering around it. Yeah, I like that too, man. It looks very much like Axie Infinity, though I have more belief that it will go higher because you haven't been maintaining readings in the overbought zone, which I guess technically maintaining readings in the overbought zone is a stronger look than not maintaining readings in it, but you can only do that for so long. Maybe you can do it for however long you want to be completely fair. By it, I mean stay in the overbought zone, but it's just not common. So I feel like where Axie Infinity's been maintaining readings in the overbought zone, while that is bullish, yes, it can only be sustained for so long, in my opinion. But something like this, it's been going in and out and in and out and in and out, and you look like you're about to break into it again. I think 172, you're at 143 right now, 172, 52, maybe 200, maybe even 247, somewhere up there. You look like you're in the middle of a move that's going to take you higher. I want to zoom out a little bit on this one, actually. Yeah, this looks good, man. It's a bull flag, really, right? There's your flagpole. Here's your flag, right, of bullishness. And then you take your measure move here. That would take you all the way up. That'd take you all the way up to 200, man. That's your 1886. So yeah, I think you're going higher. I really do. The volume's nice. It all looks good. It all looks good in my opinion. So yeah, good choices on those. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna remember that one because ILV might be the winner so far out of all of them. It looks like it's the winner. Corgi AI. Maybe we'll look at this one on a different one. Corgi AI. Yeah, we'll use this one, I think. Very low liquidity, just so you know, Flower Child. But I know that you like to look for these diamonds in the rough. This could be one of them. You never know. You moved up 61% the other week, and you're looking pretty unstoppable. Let's look at some relative strength index here. Double bearish divergence. It's not technically confirmed, though it looks like it wants to. You are, very strong move, less strong move, even less strong move. Like that's pretty common with I don't know. I want to say preluding, I don't know, things leading up to a bigger drop is what I'm trying to say. I feel like I'm fumbling my words a lot today, but that's okay. Low to high here. It looks like you want to pull back to your 382 at 3075. You could very well go all the way back to your 618, the golden ratio, which, by the way, would take you right back to your first weekly closing high right there, right? That's your 618, that white line right there as well. So anything and everything between 3 zeros, 2573 and 3075, it's a big range, but I'm personally, after a big move like this, I think you will hold your 382. You probably do go a little bit below it. Find support here where you did, maybe even go a little bit below that, but it's very common to dip below your 382 and then come back up, find support, and then you move higher. But that's my thoughts on this. It probably does go down. If not, it has one more move up in it, but I think it wants to go lower. I do. For what it's worth, if it's worth anything at all. Yeah. I mean, you got listed on Gate.io, right? Or Gate.io. I think it's Gate.io. And you haven't really seen any sell-off, so I think you're about to get that exchange sell-off. Sometimes this happens and it's just prolonged. Or what's the word? It's like kicked down the road. Like the can is being kicked down the road, but inevitably you will get that exchange listing sell-off. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about when I say that, because I've said that on a couple coins now, because everybody thinks exchange listings are bullish, and they are bullish before the listing. The price moves up, right? Like let's say your coin is getting listed on Coinbase. Do you think it's going to pump the hardest on the news that it's getting listed, or do you think it's going to pump the hardest after it's been listed? You know what I mean? Like it'll probably have more to grow after it's been listed, but immediately speaking, it'll probably dump, because who is buying it on the news? That whenever you hear the news that Coinbase is going to list it, what does that mean? That means that they have to have, and I'm saying Coinbase even though this is Gate.io, but whatever exchange it is, any exchange listing, the idea is that the exchange has to have that coin in their reserve so that you can trade it, so that their clients can trade it, which would then mean, to have it in their reserves, that the exchange would have to procure it. They'd have to buy it or attain it somehow, which means that price will likely go up, because also what the exchanges want to do whenever they buy or however they finagle getting these coins on their exchanges, sometimes they charge people for them, but however it works, there's going to be less liquidity because it's all going to be on the exchanges in their wallets, not being traded. It's going to be a hefty amount. Whether it's the people that are operating the project itself, or it's the exchanges themselves too, they're going to have their market makers or people who know what they're doing to kind of help construct prices go higher, because there's going to be less liquidity, so that whenever the exchange list comes, they can sell their coins at a higher price to make it profitable. Because again, they had to pay to get these coins on whatever exchange, or whether it's the project or the exchange itself that had to buy the tokens. I hope that makes sense. But an exchange listing is bullish, but once it's listed, a dump is essentially imminent. It's essentially imminent, because now, instead of one of the biggest players in the space, an exchange, buying your coin, it's now open liquidity, right? It's not, because an exchange owning it, the coin, whether it's given to them or they have to buy it themselves, they're not trading it, right? They're not trading it because they're holding it, they're housing it for you, the clients, whenever it finally does get listed, and that's when it gets traded. They're selling it to you. The exchanges stop buying, you start buying it, which means, ergo, the exchange is selling it. So you go from the exchanges, some of the biggest players, buying your coin to selling your coin. What do you think that's going to do? And Corgi.ai recently, maybe, within the last 2 months it's been listed, hasn't really seen a huge sell-off. I think you're going to get that now. You're probably going to move lower. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if you move down to your 382, your relative 382 here, wherever that would be. Where would that be? Did I do it from this low? I think I did. Yeah, somewhere around here. 3075, a little bit below that. Anyways, that's Corgi AI. I hope that makes sense and I didn't lose anybody. But whatever if I did, man. But when, man, you guys are getting all these low cap coins, aren't you? Okay. It's bullish, sure, but it's also bearish. Bullish in the sense that it has been moving up like a non-stop train, but bearish in the sense that you are losing volume as you're closing days higher and higher. You do have bearish divergence, which has already been fulfilled. It's presenting itself now. Rejecting here, getting a red day would not look good. So definitely close to day green. Continue to go higher. You definitely want that, because if you reject here, you turn red. You'll probably pull all the way back down to 3012, 3011, somewhere in that area. The 4-hour looks fine in my opinion. It does. The daily's the only thing that I have concerns of, and it doesn't look bad. It just could look bad if in the next 19 hours 55 minutes it doesn't close green and or go higher. So don't close red today. But yeah, I think you want to move up higher. Where to? I don't know. It's too new to really guess. But if I had to, you want me to, probably anywhere from like 304488 to 30734 to maybe even 2011. It's hard to say, but that's the range that you got. That's when. Let's talk about GQ now. Oshugarg, I looked at this earlier, and GQ, if I type it in here, I get Blink Galaxy. All right, there it is. It's the only one that's available, right? It's to see Blink Galaxy. It's at 2.3 cents. But if I type in GQ here, USD, it's a different. It's Galactic Quadrant. It's different, and it's a different symbol than this symbol is. And I tried it on Dex Screener as well, and it did the same thing. It only shows Galactic Quadrant. So Outer Ring MMO, different names but same symbol. So I'm going to click on this on MEXC. 2.228. That's 2.3. It's pretty close. That's pretty close. Let's actually look and see, man. Weekly here. If this, maybe they've just changed their names a bunch of times. They're like Rat Mouse or Mouse Rat from Parks and Recreation, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Let's see. So that's the price. It's been out since March of 2022. Well, we don't have that much data, do we? I guess we do. Let's just see, like, what was the closing high there? That was in February. I think this is it. I think this is the same chart. Blink Galaxy is Outer Ring is Galactic Quadrant, oddly enough. So I guess we can do TA on this. Never mind. The fact that they changed their name so much is a little bit of a pain in the butt. But hey, double bottom here. Nice week so far. 51% up. Not a lot of volume though. Not a lot of volume at all. Maybe you've got volume elsewhere. I don't know where you would. Maybe on gate.io. Not a whole lot, no. Maybe on BitGet. No. So I don't really like that, especially with how volatile you've been and you still have 3 days, 20 hours left. You're at an area that you found resistance. I would think you come down. I could be wrong, but I would think you come down. It's not a lot of volume at all. So I'm not impressed by this move. It probably does pull back to at least 002. You're at 00235 now, so 002 or lower is where you're going. But that's my genuine opinion with GQ. One, Harmony. Looking very bullish, looking like it wants to continue, man. This is a nice look right here. Lower lows in your RSI, higher lows in price. I love it. I love to see it. Volume is dying off, but you're not dying off. You're maintaining levels here. So when the volume comes back in, whatever direction you choose, when that volume comes back in is likely the direction that you will follow through with. So just be prepared for whatever is to come. I do think it's going to go up to the. I think it's going to go to the upside. Yeah, it looks like you've broken out of this accumulation phase. I think you are. I think you have higher to go. Top to bottom here. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely, you do. You're probably going to go at least to 5 cents, if not 6.4 cents. Genuinely speaking, that's my best opinion. I think so, man. You already found support on your 886. I think you're going to at least like around 5 cents, if not 6.4, 6.5 cents. Yeah. Yep. Maybe even higher, man. But that 6.5 cent area, 6.4 cent area, coming in line with these previous lows, it makes sense to me. So let's see if it lines up with anything else too. Top to bottom. You got 618 up here, 0.5's over there, 123 weekly moving average. Yeah, you probably do stop around 6.4, 6.5 cents if I really had to guess. That's one. And it's looking good. You're consolidating a little bit right now, but you're looking like you're in the middle of this move. So I think it's week over week it's going to go up there. Is it going to take a week or two to go up there? Probably not. It'll probably take more than that, but Maybe it takes less than that. Who knows? That's one. We're now talking about VeChain. VeChain, 51% that week, and you've been consolidating. Bearish divergence, yes. Not a whole lot of volume. Volume is dying off. It's weird. It's weird. It's almost like a diamond, but it's not. I mean, it could be, but it's not. I don't know what to call it. This does look like a symmetrical triangle at this end, but this doesn't over here. So I don't know what to call it. Maybe it's a... I really don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to get caught up on that. Let's just say if you do get a day to close above 5.15 cents, a day to close above 5.15 cents, you're probably going higher to the next phase up. If, however, you get a day to close below like 4.3 cents, you're going lower. And let's throw some fibs on there to kind of get the idea. I want to look at the daily RSI again. Yeah, I don't hate the daily RSI. It doesn't look too bad in my opinion. It could though. It could if you keep moving down, top to bottom. Yeah, I kind of believe you're going up to 8.75, at least up to 6 cents. But I think you're moving up to like 8.7 to 10 almost 11 cents, somewhere in that area. Yep. That's what I needed. Hold support on the 382 like that. That's beautiful. You remember earlier, guys? I forget which coin it was that I was talking about. It might have been the very first one. I forget, or maybe it was the second one. But how it's very common to hit the 382 and then pull back and then go, or sometimes you break above it, hold support, and then you go. Like that's literally what it's doing now. So bullish, and you look like you're respecting these fibs enough at least. So yeah, higher for sure, or I would think. Talking about CHMB now. Chumbi Valley. Oh my goodness. What a valley indeed, man. You know, this is kind of an inverse head and shoulders pattern, actually. The volume's not right at all. Not even close, but hey. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, it's only on KuCoin. That's okay. It kind of looks like you're ready to break, man. It kind of does. I don't like the volume readings, but whatever. It looks good to me. Like, it looks pretty. You could move down first. You know, you could move down to like 0.00033. You're at 0.00041 now, and then move up higher. But I would think that any low is going to be a higher low, and you're essentially getting ready. It's just going to put you off for a little bit of time until you break out of this. I mean, if this is a head and shoulders, which it's kind of a weird looking head and shoulders because it's a very fat head, to be fair. But I mean, that would take you all the way up to 0.0022, and you're at 0.00041 right now. So that's pretty massive gains on the breakout move there, if it is to be respected like that. But it kind of fits to me, man. Either way, when you break above, when you break out of this zone, which you're close to doing, but you might for the next couple days pull back. You know, you genuinely could come all the way back down to these lows here and be fine. Maybe you don't though. Maybe you only pull like somewhere into here or a little bit lower. Who knows? But when you do break out, it's going to be phenomenal. But I just don't know when. It could happen today, tomorrow. I like all the RSIs, so it's just a matter of when. And I don't know when, but when it does happen, it's going to be good. ANKR. Any downside for that last one is going to be a good time to buy. Any upside, reason to get excited, but not really until you break out of that zone. Anyways, ANKR. Oh my goodness. It's so hot on the RSI. You're at previous areas of support and current areas of resistance. You broke above your 123 moving average. I would kind of think you're going to move down. I would kind of think you're going to move down from here. Daily, kind of a double top. Now, to be fair, the day is not closed. If you get today to close red, I'll be even more convinced that this was your top. Yeah, the 4 hour or whatever. It's a little bit. It's not convincing enough to me. You absolutely could go higher, but you're just so hot already on your weekly RSI, and you're at places that it would make sense to kind of chill, and a lot of cryptos look like that too, so it really wouldn't be crazy at all to see this thing pull back. You're at 5.7 cents. You could go all the way back to 4.3 cents. So, man, I've got some cash on the side, guys. I've had it for a little while now. Been itching to put it into something, and I just haven't pulled the trigger because I can't help but think that things are a little bit overextended right now. And I'm already so like set for the crypto market. Like if it moves up, okay, cool. I'll just hold on to the cash I have and wait for a pullback still, and I'll buy higher happily because I'm buying on a pullback. But here, I will kick myself in the butt if I buy here and it pulls back. I'm not going to buy this coin, but just kind of as an overall example, because a lot of coins look like this. They're at areas where it would make sense to turn around. They're at areas where it would make sense to turn around, you know. So let's see how today closes, though. If today does close red, you got a double top in your RSI. I would think that that would be good enough, potentially, to send you all the way back down to like 3.7 cents, if not 4.4 cents, somewhere in that area. That's ANKR. Spell. I put a spell on you. Who sings that song? It's not Etta James. I don't think it's someone else. Annie Lennox. Annie Lennox. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, same kind of area, right? Previous area of resistance. It wouldn't be crazy at all to reject from here. Relative high to low. 1272, 1414 area. A lot of volume. You're deep in your RSI's overbought zone on the weekly. A little bit of bearish divergence, but you've had that move already, and you're hanging out up here, man. I don't know. I don't know. You don't make it easy, do you? I'm kind of under the impression that you are going to go up to 0.00215, but then you probably pull back. Then you probably do. You might even pull back lower than this low, if not at least back to these areas. So hard to say, but you're wanting to break out. You're wanting to see a more spectacular move. But for now, any movement up, I think it's going to be kind of minute relative to this overall move that you've had. I mean, don't get me wrong. Moving up to 0.00215, you're at 0.0014 right now. That's a decent amount of increase, and it would probably happen in a short amount of time. But you could just as easily pull back to 3093. Not impressed by the 4 hour, though it's not depressing. The daily looks fine in my opinion. I don't have a problem with it, and the weekly RSI, of course, is strong, but you're just, as far as price action goes, you're kind of in an area where it would make sense to pull back. Top to bottom at your 382 as well, but you already went to your 236. Like, I kind of want to say it's going higher. There's a part of me that wants to say it's going to go lower, but I think it will go higher. Probably to 0.0025. 215, whatever it was. That's spell. Looking good. Temporarily. Jupiter. Jupe. I thought it was Jupe. On Kraken? No. Maybe, but no. Binance? Alright, Kraken it is. So it went down and it went up, and now it's just going to continue to go up until it actually sees the orbit of Jupiter. So that's good. It's just going to do that. No, I don't know, man. Too new. It's way too new to really have a genuine opinion on it. Overbought, but very strong nonetheless. If you were to move down, you can move down. You're at 9.32. You can move down to 8.32 cents and still look good. You're holding support at previous areas of resistance. You're holding higher lows. All good things. I don't like taking the first day, but that's all we have. I mean, I would think you are moving up to $1.10 to $1.40 before this party's over, so decreasing volume as you're moving up is not encouraging, but the RSI looks good. 4 hour RSI looks good. You probably do pull back a little bit, maybe to this 886 at 82.8 cents, but I think you're going above $1. Yeah, Jupe looks good. Looks good. Arkham. ARKM. Arkham. Binance. We'll use Binance. Low to high. Oh yeah, bro. You're gonna pull back. You hit like a 97, a 96. you can only do that for so long. You had a very nice run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row where you moved up only, and from the beginning of that time you moved up 8x in 5 weeks, like beautiful. But straight lines are not long lived, man. You're probably gonna pull back. Yeah, bearish. Oh yeah, dude. That's triple bearish divergence. Yep, you haven't even seen the move yet. So yes, I'm very convinced you're gonna move down from here. You even checked back on the 069, which I have it there, but I have to admit I haven't found a lot of significance on it lately because things have just been breaking above their 100 levels, where this is at the 0 levels, right? But yeah, man, you're probably pulling back all the way down to $1.45. You're at $2.93 now, so probably moving all the way back down there. Previous areas of resistance confirming the support, and then up you go. You could pull back to your 61869. It's possible, but I think you'll hold that 382 area. That's a very strong move. It's very common to hold the 382 in a strong move. Some of these cryptos, man, they don't even go back to their 382. They find support in the middle, which doesn't make sense. But hey, it doesn't have to make sense. Maybe it holds support at the 236, which is also not common, but it happens. I'm looking for this though, personally. That's my thoughts. Yeah. Yep, that's our. I'm very convinced that that's the high, that it's going to go lower from here. So that's that. If you're looking to buy, I would wait like a week or 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe more. But that's my thoughts on that. Did I? Okay, all right. Near Protocol looking very bullish, up 30% this week already. Yeah, you still got like over half a week to go, man. Top to bottom, 1886 being hit. Yeah, it's kind of a rejection off the 1886, isn't it? You probably pull back to 683. Let's see how you do with that. If you hold that 683 area as support, you're likely making a move up to 1035. If you, however, break this, you will likely make a move back to 550, potentially all the way down to 430 or even lower than that. But let's see how you interact with this 1618. I'm very confident you will go there. Not really getting anything. I mean, the 4 hour, to be fair, looks like it wants continuation to the upside. So prove me wrong. Prove me wrong on the idea that you're going to go back to your 1618 before heading higher. Prove me wrong on that by closing above $8.10. If you can do that today, or really any day before you get down here, then I'll be convinced that instead of moving down to 683, you're moving up to 1035. And inevitably, I think you're moving up here, but just for the time being, I think you're moving anywhere from probably here to here. Just because you don't hold support on this line doesn't mean that the 2272 is off the table. It just might take more time. But yeah, down. I'm thinking down from here. That's my genuine thoughts. So that's near Kava. Kava, man. Oh my goodness. It's an accumulation phase. The whole chart is. There we go. I like this look, man. It's my kind of chart right here, man. Yep. Yet to break out, though it's doing bullish things, right? It's an odd shape. It's almost like an Adam and a Eve, almost. It's kind of weird. I like it though. I do like the shape. Anytime I get you get this like double bottom with this kind of like U in the middle, I like that normally. Same thing if it's to the top side, you know, kind of like a double top, but with that U in the middle, like that. But you don't like that. You know, you kind of don't like that. It's actually a bad thing, or it's a good thing if you're bearish, whatever. But anyways, you're at the top of your resistance area, right? You haven't been here in a while. I would very much be surprised if you just broke straight through this, personally. You will inevitably see a move like that, but for the time being, maybe you do move up a little bit higher to around $1.16. You're at $1.11 right now, so $1.16, something like that. Find resistance up in this area. You probably pull back down, and then on your next attempt, you break out, right? You form a higher low, and then boom. That's my thoughts. It would make sense too, looking at this RSI, right? You've got all these lows kind of coming into line with each other, kind of. You know, you could pull back to your 50, whatever, form yet another higher low in the RSI, and then move up from there. Wouldn't be crazy. You got your 1272, 1414, yeah. So you could go up a little bit higher first, again, like I was saying, right? Up to that $1.23 area, maybe even just up to $1.23 to $1.16, somewhere in there. and then you probably pull back to like 93 cents is my thoughts for now. But I do think you want to go up higher rather immediately. Yeah. Yeah, I've got no problems with it. I think it does. If you go lower first, if you don't go higher like right now and you go lower, I would doubt that you go below $1. You're probably going to see that 1618. You're probably going to see $1.20, $1.16 to $1.23 before you break below $1 again. But I do think inevitably you will break below $1 again, and then you'll have your real move up afterwards, if that all makes sense. Arrow. This is one of those coins everybody's been requesting lately, which I get it, man. It's pumped up a lot, but I mean, I guess what? Let's see. Over the past few days, it's gone up a little bit. You do have extremely pronounced bearish divergence. It's not confirmed or technically printed until you have a red day, so we're just waiting on that red day, man. These are indecision candles here, and I will say indecision candles at a time like this is not a good thing. That's normally indecision candles. So whenever you see this, just so you know, as far as like candlestick patterns go, because right, there's all kinds of patterns. I guess, I don't know, is it candlestick patterns or are they just candlesticks? Because like this is it's a candlestick pattern, right? It's a bull flag, I suppose. I don't know. What I mean by candlestick patterns is by going directly off the candlesticks, not by the shape of the pattern itself. When you get this, and then you get this, you get these like huge wick to the upside, huge wick to the downside. That's like indecision. That's what that marks, right? You don't know what to do, and it's very obvious, right? Because like, okay, we went all the way up here, but then we closed back down here. Well, we went all the way down here, but then we closed back up here. We don't know what we want to do. But whenever you find indecision at a topping point, at a high point, it's normally takes a neutral idea and it takes it bearish, because it's like, why are you being indecisive whenever you should be going? You had a bull flag here, you look like you should be going, but now instead of seeing this steam, instead of seeing any volume, you're actually just slowly petering out. So I do think it will pull back soon, hit your 1272. Generally I wouldn't mind this look, but just for what it's worth with all of this, you're not getting any volume following through. I think you will pull back. You'll probably pull back at least to 61 cents, if not down to about 50 cents, if not even lower than that, man. You genuinely could see a greater move down, all the way back down to like 29 cents, right around this low here. So be prepared for that. It's very much on the table. I'm not impressed at the moment. I do think it wants to come down. I think we're just waiting on that. We're waiting for this red day to happen, and once we do, the minimum target, the absolute bare minimum, would be at least to here, which is at about 61 cents. But I would think you go lower. At least form a higher low. I mean, that would technically be a higher low, but I would think you do go lower, but that's the minimum target. So don't be surprised if you go to 50 cents. Don't be surprised if you go to 35 cents. Don't be surprised if you work your way like all the way back down. Who knows? But that's arrow. One way or another, I think it's going lower. I'm not personally expecting that you go too dramatically below this low. I wouldn't say that I expect that you're going to form a higher low. You absolutely could form a slightly lower low, but I would say something like that would be the most that you've got. You could see lower and still form an overall higher low, sure, but personally, I think you will hold something between here and here, like something in the zone. It's a very big range, but that's the range you're getting because it's such a new chart. There's no real price action to go off of. So that's arrow down. I'm thinking down. We don't have confirmation until we get a red day. So let's just see how today closes. PNG. Pangolin, that's right, that's what this is. Yeah, you're going down as well. You rejected your overbought zone. That's a hell of a bearish day right there, unless you get some kind of bullish reversal here, which it's not common, but we've seen it a couple times where you get these rejections on a bearish looking candle, and then you just happen to pull yourself out of the dirt, man, and you continue to strive higher. But I think you're going to go lower from here. I do. Yeah, hell of a run up. Nice run up, right? Let's see. Top to bottom. 2886 hit. That's a deep extension, bro. On a small thing, but still, and now you're finding resistance at your 2272. Yeah, you probably pull back to 27.6 cents, if not 20 cents itself. You could go all the way back to 14 cents, but let's look at that 27.6 to 20 cent area first. Let's look at that 1618 to 1272 area first. Somewhere down in here is where I think you're going. Form a higher low, and then get on with the show. Pangolin. Pretty easy one. Thank you for that. Mobile. We're almost done, you guys. Four more left. Helium Mobile. And then I'm going to get some water because I messed up. Oh, wait. No, I didn't. Man, I was thirsty. I was suffering for no reason here. All right, there we go. Isn't that interesting? Coinbase has a really big wick, man. Their wick, it's the biggest wick. KuCoin does too. I might use KuCoin's chart. Yeah, I might use KuCoin's chart. Okay. Crypto has the most data about MEXC. Okay, we'll use MEXC. All right. MEXC been coming in clutch a lot lately. Top to bottom, 786 hit. Yeah, whatever. That's cool. Overbought in the 87s. It looks really good. It looks really good. I must say it looks really good. I'm not going to lie, though. You probably pull back a little bit. You're at 0.006. You probably pull back to 0.054, 0.005 itself, somewhere at your 61869 area. Previous areas of resistance back here. You could go lower than that, but I don't think you'll go all the way back down here. So I'm thinking 5 to 5.4. Sorry, 0.0054 to 0.005, somewhere in that area. Find support in the white zone, which is for loading and unloading only. We're going to be loading in this case, and then boom, higher. And it kind of comes in line with this like trajectory that you have. But maybe I'm just seeing what I want to see. It looks really good to me, man. I like you cut through that 618 like butter. That tells me that inevitably right now, like these prices have an 80 to like a 100%. Nothing's 100%, but they have 80+% chance of happening. The only way that would be negated is if this, within like the next 2 to 3 days, you close below the 618. You can go below it, but don't close below it. If you close below it, then this was a fake out. This was not a good move. You're actually just disrespecting the 618, which makes this uncertain. But as of right now, this is a really good look. You look like you want to go to at least 1.2 to 1.86 cents, somewhere in that area. But first, pull back, right? Like that's your ultimate move. But like you could do this all along the way. Like it's not, nothing's certain. Nothing's certain, and nothing moves in a straight line. But who knows? Maybe you do this and then you go up there too. Like, who knows? But this is looking good. This whole area right now is looking good based off of what you're doing here. So don't give it up. Don't give up that 5 cent or that 0.005 area. Anyways, that's mobile. Probably pulls back temporarily and then continues on its trend up to above a cent, even above 2 cents. Pixel. Right, isn't this a game, Pixels? I think this is a gaming token too. I didn't think about that. We'll use Tether. Why not? Yeah, Pixels. Didn't they? I think. Yeah, they did just recently list. That was something I remember hearing about that back in February. Actually, yeah, because they've existed longer than that, but they didn't list their coin until just recently. Like the game has existed longer than that. I don't mind the 4-hour RSI. I mean, it looks like it wants to go lower for the time being, but you're going to form a higher low based on this trajectory. Like I wouldn't think you'd go too much lower than 70 cents. I mean, maybe go to like 65 cents, but you definitely have lower to go from here, I would say. I think you do want to go lower. Where are you going to go for your low? Back to there. Back to like 64, 65, 63 cents. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you'll probably pull back. I would think 62 to 68 cents. You could hold 75 cents. I'm not counting on that personally, but you could. And if you do, that's going to be a really bullish look. But I think anywhere from 62 to 68 cents sounds about right to me. Moving down. And then probably continue to move upwards in a very dramatic fashion. This might be a good one to get into, man. What's its market cap? It's probably high. It's not that high. It's not bad, man. That's not a bad new coin to get into. If you're looking for the gaming coins, man, look, anytime I say that it's a good coin, I might get it. Maybe you guys should check it out. Whatever. I mean it. You should check it out. Look it up, man. Like I'm trying to find coins that I want to get, and I'm actually going to talk about a coin later today that I've had my eyes on, but I didn't really know enough about it to pull the trigger, and I wish I took the time to do it earlier. But read the white papers, man. Figure out the coin. If you can't understand it, doesn't mean you don't have to invest in it. You can take a gamble, but maybe don't put your life savings or don't put like a substantial amount of money in something you can't wrap your head around, right? Like try to find things that make sense to you that you can believe in, that you have conviction in, to put your money in. Now, if you want to just put it all in meme coins or things that don't necessarily make sense but they do well and play that game, that's okay. As long as you're taking profits, whatever, do you. But this whole thing spouted from this. I think it looks interesting. I think it looks interesting. I would put my money in something like this. I'm probably not going to. I have my eyes on something else at the moment. But if I were to put money in this, I wouldn't take some guy's opinion on YouTube. I would myself look at the white paper and make sure it's the right decision for me. I like gaming tokens anyway, so I think this would be fine. But anyways, that's that. I hope that makes sense. I hope nobody's just blindly buying anything just because anybody on YouTube is talking about it. You guys are better than that. You should do better by yourselves by that. Read the white papers, man. They're boring, and you have to sit down and you have to focus, because if it's actually a good project, you're going to be reading at like a college level. You're going to be reading things that you don't normally read in a day-to-day stuff. You're going to have to figure out what the words mean and piece it together and stay focused so that you can comprehend it. But comprehending the tokens that you own, in my opinion, is a necessity. If you can't comprehend it, like, maybe you don't have to comprehend everything. I don't know how to build a car, but I use a car. I know it's safe. I know, unless like another car hits me. But, you don't have to know everything about it, but I at least can comprehend it. You know what I mean? You don't have to comprehend every single thing they're saying. You don't have to understand formulas or programming or anything like that, right? Anything can happen, but at least be able to comprehend it to some degree, to be able to understand how it's used and why it could benefit you as an investor. Anyways, Trump Inu. Okay, we're going to use this one. It's 16 days old, where this one is 9 months old, but this one has more volume, so we're going to use that. Look at you go. That was the 1 hour chart, so that looked a lot better. I thought there was a daily chart for a second, but sadly no. Top to bottom here. Yeah, look at that. Not bad. Expected area hit, 1414 hit. People are like, meme coins don't respect TA, man. TA doesn't work on meme coins. They just do whatever they want. It's like, okay, well, this thing literally tipped. This coin that existed for not even like 2 weeks now had literally just tipped its 1414. I mean, like, I don't know. Is that maybe it's a coincidence? Maybe it's just a coincidence. There's a lot of coincidences happening out there, man. I would think you pull back from here, yeah. That's a pretty bearish candle. You close below your 1272, unless this 4 hour and the next 3 hours and 23 minutes, unless you can close above that 1272 immediately. I'm expecting that you would go back to 4055 to 4046, somewhere in that area. I do think that will hold. I think that will be a higher low, and I think you will continue to move higher. That's decent volume for what this thing has. I think you'll probably hold this area, but I would think you go back to it. Maybe you literally find your low right there. Maybe you literally find it right there. Maybe it's somewhere in between, but lower and then higher. Probably at least to the 1618, which a move like that, let's be optimistic and say it doesn't even drop that low. Let's say it drops only to here. A move like that would still promote, even if you bought it at 40678, that'd promote like 100% growth. And I think it's going to 4055 to 4046. So, I mean, really, like off of my expectations, that's 150% to a 200% growth. So on a meme coin, not bad. Not bad, little Trump Inu. Looking good, but first, looking down. And then we're going to finish this up, you guys. Last coin of the day here. Mint Layer. MLU. Dude. To me, this price action looks sad. It looks like it wants to roll over. But when you look at the RSI, you were very hot, showing strength. You've cooled way the hell off. You've rejected your overbought, and you really haven't seen that much downside. I mean, I say that. It doesn't look like it, but from a top to bottom, you have dropped 42%. But it looks good to me, dude. This actually looks really good is all I'm trying to say. Bottom to top here. Found resistance on your 069. Here I was talking smack like I haven't seen respect on it, and there you are, showing respect on it. I would think you go at least to 40 cents, but you could go all the way to 23 cents, but something tells me you're not going to. I think today or like this week, you go down to 40 cents, and that's it, and then you're moving up again. That's my thoughts on Mint Layer, man. Yeah, the daily RSI reinforces that. I mean, you could move up a little bit, maybe in the next couple days, but I think inevitably, if not sometime this week or next week, you want to go lower. Yeah. But you're near the end of it. You're near the end of this downside, which in comparison to the upside is just nothing, right? Generally with this look, it looks like it's rolling over. I wouldn't like that, but when you match it up with the RSI, you see what you have going for you. The fact that there's no volume picking up as you're moving down, like I like that. So I do think you're going to move either to 40 cents, maybe to 23 cents, maybe, but I'm not expecting that. I'd say like 40, 35 cents, something like that, and then higher, but down for now. And that's all I got, guys. So if you liked the video, hit that like button. If there was a winner, which one was it, man? Was it ILV for crypto investor? I think it was. I think it was ILV. Looked like it wanted to go up. It was the one that I was like more certain of out of all of these that looks like it wants to go up the most in the shortest amount of time. And it's not doing anything crazy, but if I remember correctly, it was like a 50% move that we were talking about, ILV. Right? Because the daily RSI looks like that. That's right. Looks like it wants to go higher. Top to bottom. 173, you're at 143 now. Maybe it's like a 20 to 40% move. Oh yeah, it was around 200, so that was like a 40% move. I mean, to me, as far as I'm concerned, that's the one that looks like it wants to move up the most in the shortest amount of time. There was that one with the diamond pattern. I can't remember which one that was, which it could just as easily go down as well. Maybe it was GQ, I forget. If I had one that was like an honorable mention or like a so good job, crypto investor. I think you won this one, man. Got your first win to my knowledge, if my memory serves me correctly. Good job. If I had to give like a runner up, this one actually doesn't look like it's going to move up immediately, but it did probably interest me more than any of these other coins. It's probably Pixels. Pixel. I like gaming coins, man. I like this one too. I don't know enough about Illuvium though, so maybe that's a bias. It probably is a biased opinion. But let's see. I wonder actually which one has the higher market cap. We'll solve it right now. ILV. All right, Pixels it is. I mean, this one definitely wins. It looks like it wants to go up in the more immediate term, but Pixels has my interest because it literally has about 40% less of this market cap. So, yeah. Again, just because I say it's interesting and it captivates me does not mean that you should blindly put your money into it. Look it up, do some reading. It's not fun, but you're dealing with money. It shouldn't be fun. It's work. You have to put in the work if you want to get the reward. And this is how you prevent yourself from putting things. I haven't even read this white paper, right? And I wouldn't dare put any money into this until I at least looked that up, right? At least skimmed over it, but I like to read it in detail, man. I will be up at night sitting next to my wife while she's watching TV and reading white papers. Like I literally do that regularly, you guys. I really try whenever I'm looking for new coins to put my money into. Even if it's a coin that I've invested in before, but I just forget what they do. I like to go over the white papers. As I'm saying this, I feel like I'm making it sound like I read white papers every night. I definitely don't, but it happens regularly. It definitely happens regularly. I was reading white papers last night and this morning, and I'm a slow reader. To be completely fair, guys, I'm actually I'm like a really slow reader. I'm off. The video's done, right? You know, you just want to hear a little bit about me. Here it is. But most people can read, and it astounds me. You guys can read faster than you can talk, right? Like you talk, I talk at this speed. I can read at this speed right here. I can totally read at this exact speed right here. But some of you guys read at like twice that speed. It's like I don't get it, man. I read in my head. I hear it the same way that I talk. Not like I hear my voice. I can hear a voice if I really wanted to. I wouldn't make it my voice. I'd make it something more soothing, like Morgan Freeman's voice. But all I'm saying is it takes me a while to read these white papers because I have the reading level of like a third grader, man. But I know how to read. I know like I have a pretty good vocabulary. I think. You know, I'm pretty comprehensive whenever it comes to figuring out what words mean. But it takes me longer to read. My wife makes fun of me for it. My friends have always made fun of me for it. But I read as fast as I can talk, essentially. And even then, man, I can talk faster than I can read, I would say. But about this pace is how fast I can read. I don't understand you people, how you can read at a faster rate than you can talk. It doesn't make sense to me. But I can do math faster than most people, so hey, that's okay. And you know what's odd too? Man? My wife can read faster than me, but I can skim faster than her. Like if we're going through like a list of things, whether it's numbers or whatever, we figured this out on a few different things. I can find, like if we're doing a word search, like whatever, or we're just like literally looking up numbers, like I can't even think of one example, but it's come up before. I'm faster at skimming things, essentially. Like if we're looking for like keywords or something in an article that we're reading, I can find that, but she'll read the section faster than me, but I can find the section faster than she can. I don't know. Enough about me. This last part's been a bit ridiculous, so if you like the video, hit that like button. If you like my reading level, hit that like button. If it makes you feel smart because you can read faster than me, hit that like button and laugh at me in the comments. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.